This is the Good Neighbor Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Skip Money.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Good Neighbor Podcast of East Tennessee and Western North Carolina. So I am very excited to have a unique guest in the studio with us for the first time, and really excited to learn all about them and what they do. And if you're a fan of entertainment, old theaters, and live music, you're in for a real treat, because today I have the pleasure of introducing your good neighbor, Mr. Scott Spruill of Mars Theater Brewing Company. Scott, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Skip. Appreciate you having me.
Well, we're thrilled to have you, and I failed to mention my appreciation for beer as well. So that's a great combination. Very excited to learn all about Mars Theater Brewing. So if you don't mind, why don't you kick us off by telling us about your theater?
Yeah, it's a unique theater for one, in that it was built in 1942, and the previous owners converted it into a brew house, which we purchased, my brother and I, 3 years ago. It's just a classic theater. It's got the loft. It's got fermenters lining one side. The left side is all decking, and it's all custom wood. So there's tons of integrity of the theater still there. There's still original movie seats. The original projectors still upstairs that folks can look at. What else? We have a full stage. So we show movies in the wintertime. Summertime doesn't draw that much, but we're not only a brewery, but we're a full entertainment center. We have live bands, we have plays, we have Elvis impersonators, we have girls' night out. So we have a lot of entertainment. And I always felt that the craft brewery industry kind of, it got to the point where all the brewers could make a decent beer. Early on, that wasn't true. You could only get a good, decent craft beer at so many places. So I felt, you have to have something unique, because having great beer is, everybody's kind of figured that out. Great craft beer, I'm referring to. The next craft brewer that has great beer is a key reason why we invested in this.
Very cool. Now, do you sell?
We have a full menu, mostly pub fare. Meatball parm, chicken cheesesteaks, potato wedges, quesadillas, pizzas. Food that generally goes well with beer.
Awesome, which is pretty much everything in my book.
Yeah,
everything goes good with beer. So very interesting. Sounds wonderful. Scott, how did you and your brother get into this business?
So yeah, it's it's been quite a journey, and it's been quite heartbreaking. But for approximately 15 years, my brother has lived in Lake Lure, and for those 15 years, every year we would have a father-son weekend, and we'd get about 5-6 of our buddies, and we'd all bring our sons, and he had a pontoon boat, so we'd go on the lake, and we had just great history of fun there. And I originally, when I would come down from Lake Lure for father-son weekend with me and my son, we lived in New Jersey at the time. And over the years, we got to know the owners of Chimney Rock Brewing. Actually, it was called Hickory Nut Gorge Brewing at the time, and they were kind of hit with a hiccup, big hiccup in life. The previous owner got brain cancer, and he wasn't going to be around long. So we approached him about, well, let me back up. So prior to that, it was just the worst day of my life. My 20-year-old son came into my room and said, "Dad, I can't breathe." He had asthma, and his lungs froze up, and he died in my arms. Wow. And that was just so overbearing. There was no way that I could stay in New Jersey, simply because of all the history that we had. He was my best friend. He was my soulmate. I have 2 daughters as well. 6 months later, my ex-wife, my kid's mother, passed away. She had her demons. So, cut to the chase, I said, "Rick, I need to get out of New Jersey. I'm going to approach the owners and see if they want to sell. We could come down here. We could retire with these breweries, and I could live in the mountains and try to heal." So that's how it all played out. It ended up, they were more than willing to sell to us. They wanted to sell to us. And I decided to buy out here in Barnardsville, and I ran the Mars Hill Theater location, and my brother ran the Chimney Rock location. And we brewed all the beer at Mars Theater because that's where the brew house was for the Chimney Rock Brewery. So that's how my journey. That's my journey to get here.
Wow. Well, now the Chimney Rock, is it still around, or did it get hammered by the?
Oh, it's completely. So a week after Helene, they let the owners of businesses down on Chimney Rock, the main street there, to go and look at their business, see if they could salvage anything. And my brother and I went there, and it was just like looking at the moon. There was nothing. There was just rock. There wasn't one. We had like 20 umbrellas. We had refrigerators, ovens. There was not one sign of the brewery. So it was really like you were emotionless. You couldn't feel anything.
Wow. Just wiped out. Yeah. Chimney Rock got hit really, really hard.
Really hard. Yeah.
So are you guys planning to rebuild or just move all your efforts?
They're still, to this day, they're still in full cleanup mode. There's a few businesses that were unscathed that were able to open. I think there's like 2 that are open now out of like 40 that were on the street. But it's still, we don't know, the requirements to build now. The specs are probably going to be different. We don't know what we can do with that land, even if we're allowed to rebuild on the land. So there's still too many unanswered questions to even have a thought on what may or may not
Totally understand that. But you can put all your efforts now into the theater, into Mars Brewing Company.
I can do that.
Awesome.
It just changed the whole entire business model.
I'm sure. Well, what are in general some misconceptions in the brewing / entertainment industry? Anything come to mind?
This is my first stab at this industry, and I've owned businesses before this, and I'm amazed at how consistent everybody is. I mean, the one myth in owning other businesses and then coming into this business, and I don't know if it's a myth, but in all my other businesses, there's always competition. You're always worried about your competitor, and you're always trying to put your competitor out of business so you prosper more. That is not the case with craft brewery owners at all. We are so supportive of one another. So to think that we're just like a regular business that, dislikes our competitors, that would probably be the only thing I can think of. Working with the bands, working with the promoters, it's been just an absolute joy.
Wow. Well, I can attest to that. I've interviewed craft breweries all over Western North Carolina and East Tennessee, and always like to ask for recommendations for subject matter for future episodes. And typically, brewery guys will tell me about other brewery guys. Say, you need to talk to this guy. He's my competitor, but he's great. You need to talk to him. So that's cool.
Absolutely.
So outside of work, Scott, what do you like to do for fun?
So we bought a farm, a 5-acre farm in Barnardsville, where my daughter has a riding business. So we have 5 horses, a couple goats. I work on the land, the pasture. I have a pond out there. So that's kind of one of my therapeutic hobbies, but I also ride motorcycles. I'm an avid motorcycle rider, both street and dirt. I'm an avid golfer, so I've been playing golf my whole life. I love music. I'm not a musician, but I love music and sports. So I grew up as an athlete, so I'm into the NFL and the MLB and NBA. But that's a pretty good snapshot of what my passions are outside of the brewery.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, if Scott, if you could think of one thing that you would like our listeners to remember about Mars Theater Brewing Company, what would that be?
Remember that it exists. Mars Hill is a very little town. So, if you could check us out, our website, our Facebook page, it's updated daily with tons of events happening. Like I mentioned earlier, plays, concerts, girls' night out, movies. We're doing a documentary film tonight. So just keep us on your radar. We're only 20 minutes from Asheville. So many people from Asheville come out and they're like, man, we thought Mars Hill was like on another planet. We thought it was far away, and it's not. It's really not. And my wife and I and our staff, we're just, we're so into it. We enjoy owning the brewery, and that's a key for any business.
It's funny, up in the mountains, people do think the little towns that are really close together aren't. I'm not too far from Hot Springs, so I'm not very far from Mars Hill either.
No. And Weaverville is literally 6 minutes from us. And, Asheville, people relate to Weaverville as like, right around the corner. Well, right. Mars Hill is right in the corner from Weaverville. So
there you go. Yeah. And then Marshall and, Hot Springs are right down the road.
Yeah.
So
just check us out at least once. It's a cool experience. And we've grown so well organically, just with people telling one another and recommending folks to come check it out, because it is a really cool experience, unlike going to just another brewery that just is a building with basic decorations.
Very cool. Well, in case any of our listeners or viewers are like me and are very intrigued, and I'm definitely going to come check it out, because I'm a big fan of beer, as I mentioned, and I'm also a big music fan as well. Love to see live entertainment. So I'm definitely going to check you out. But for those of us that would like to come check you out, where can we learn more? You mentioned your website.
Our Facebook page is Mars Theater Brewing Company, and our website is marstheaterbrewco.com.
Mars Theater.
And both, like I said, are updated daily.
Awesome. Any big shows coming up?
Yeah, we have the documentary film today, which is called Rescued Hearts, which is ironically about the healing of horses for people that have anxiety. So it's going to be a really interesting film. And then we have a band, Black Magic Voodoo, playing on Saturday night. Let's see the schedule here. And then Sunday we have Tina and Her Pony, which is a solo performance. So that's pretty happening for this weekend. Yeah. And then we show after Tina, we'll be showing NFL football, and we show all our games and college football games all on the giant size movie screen. So it's really a cool.
Oh, now that's cool.
Team play. Yeah.
That is very cool. Very cool. All right. Well, I'm excited, and I'm sure guys, listeners, you heard it here. Check it out. Got lots of cool stuff coming up. Plus, it's just cool just to come check out the big screen and the theater itself. So, want to encourage everybody to come check out Mars Theater Brewing Company. So, Scott, I can't tell you how much I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to spend some time with us and tell us all about your theater and your beer. And we wish you and your family and your brewing company all the best moving forward.
Thank you so much for this opportunity to give my brewery some exposure. I deeply appreciate it.
Absolutely. Maybe when you've got a big show coming up, we can have you back.
That'd be great.
All right, man. Have a great rest of the day.
Thank you very much. Thank you for listening to the Good Neighbor Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to gnptry-cities.com. That's gnptry-cities.com or call 423-719-5873.